All right, so the Warriors got destroyed to the Mavericks today. This game is going up there as one of the worst games all year. Just behind that Raptors 53-point loss. But we lost to the Mavericks 133 to 103, and we got destroyed. We had an embarrassing first half. First quarter, we only scored 12 points, and 17 we scored in the second, only gave us 29 points at half. Well, the Mavericks had 26 in the first and 26 in the second, so 36 and 26, which got them a crazy amount of points at halftime. That's 62 points, so 62 to 29. That game's already over. Luka Doncic played insane for the Mavericks. 39 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. And he played really, really good. He's definitely a really good player. Although the Warriors played bad, we did get to see one player we don't usually see play a lot play well. Michael Mulder had 26 points. He's a decent three-point shooter. I like to think of him as like a less good version of Steph Curry because he can shoot threes. He's good off the dribble, but he's still kind of like a bench player. But he did start tonight, so that was interesting. Oubre did terrible. He was like 20% shooting at one point in the game. He was 10 points. Curry was actually the leading scorer. No surprise there, but 27 for him, so just one more than Mulder. But those were the only two guys really contributing. Maybe Wiggins, but Wiggins' field goal percentage was very lackluster. And yeah, I mean, that point to this game, it was 62 to 29 at half, and I was just like, I didn't want to watch it, but I did watch just because there was no other games to watch. But it was depressing. We fall back to 500 now. We're still 31 and 31, and I thought this game would at least be competitive because the Mavericks, they're good. But they're not too much better than us. I mean, they're like 4 games ahead of us, three maybe 3.5. So yeah, and I think we still sit at 10th in the West. Yeah, so we're behind San Antonio. And we got to be careful. I think we'll definitely make the play-in still, despite having losses like this, because I mean, there's a pretty big gap between us and the Pelicans, who are right behind us. But I would really prefer to get at least 8th place, and I think it's doable. We're only a full game back. And, I mean, despite this loss, it doesn't completely affect our standing significantly. But I think the problem is Steph Curry, besides tonight, Michael Mulder, had no help. He's just having no help. And it sucks because Curry is a natural leader. But natural leaders in sports, and more specifically basketball, they need support. I mean, Curry cannot just go out there on his own and put up, 30 points and still lose by 30 points, right? He needs those guys complimenting him. Draymond had no points, and I know Draymond's more focusing on rebounds and assists, but he barely had any assists tonight, and I mean, no points is just not contributing at all. Jordan Poole had 10 off the bench, which I think is pretty good. He's definitely a good role player. But yeah, just a blowout. Not a fun game to watch. This game was over before it started. I turned it on kind of a little bit into the first period because in the first quarter, because the A's were playing, and I just knew they were going to lose because they were down by so much. And the last time we played the Mavericks, it was a really close back and forth contest. The Mavericks barely beat us, and this was a couple months ago. But Curry went off in that game. Obviously, the Warriors are shorthanded still, but I mean, come on, 30-point loss, and it probably would have been more if it weren't for the fact that the Mavericks played their bench players in the final minutes. Come on, guys. Besides Luka Doncic, Tim Hardaway Jr. had 13 for Dorian Finney-Smith, 10 for Kleba, and 12 for Jalen Brunson, and 13 for Nikola Melli. But, I mean, the Mavericks just collectively played better. It was the Luka Doncic show. He played good. Really good, actually. Definitely a really good star. Our schedule is going to get pretty light for these next 6 games. At least we have the Timberwolves, who are pretty bad. We have the Rockets following that, who are actually mathematically eliminated. We have the Pelicans for 2 games in a row, and they're right behind us in the standings, so we can take them. Then we have the Thunder twice, and I think the Thunder are harder, but we beat the Thunder by 40 points the last time we played them. So I'm not significantly worried about that, but I think, this was kind of a wake-up call, I feel like. But yeah, definitely a bad game. So let me know your thoughts, and go Warriors.